It's time to take a TO with coaches Turner and O'Neill. Produced by Kurtis Cross and engineered by DJ Krissy.
It's time to take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. Your new favorite podcast features conversation from the world of high school, college, and pro sports, along with other riveting content. Connect with us on Facebook and Instagram at Turner O'Neill Podcast and on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, or visit www.turnerando'neill.com. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, and more than 15 podcast platforms. We also invite you into the studio each week via YouTube. Subscribe and watch each episode on our YouTube channel at Turner O'Neill Podcast. Thanks to our premier partner, Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage, our partners, Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller, Insurance Alliance Group, LLC, and Marquise Evans with Keller Williams Capital Properties. Our sponsors, O'Neill Development, LLC, Next Level Lacrosse, A Squared Home and Office Solutions, Collins Funeral Home, and Peace Players International. And our donors, Winsight Media and Gene the Barber with Max Life Barber and Salon. Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill is produced by Kurtis Cross and engineered by me, DJ Krissy. Now we welcome you to today's episode as we take a TO with coaches Steve Turner and Casey O'Neill. Here's your host, Kurtis Cross.
Welcome to Season 3, Episode 9 of Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. I am Kurtis Cross, your host. I am joined as always by Coach Steve Turner, the one and only Casey O'Neill, and of course our engineer is DJ Krissy. We thank you for listening and watching. So just before Krissy opened up the mics, I realized we haven't been together in like 4 or 5 episodes, all of us together.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
I'm looking at our archive here, and I believe you were gone last week. You may have been gone the week before, and I think when we had the UVA college football talk was the last time we were all together, the young man from UVA.
Hunter Stewart was with us, but he's traveling. We're going to talk about
He's
that in
traveling.
a little bit.
We're going to talk about
moving and grooving.
Wow, so it's good to be, everybody's here, and it's a Monday, and we're going to do the damn thing, right, Coach Turner?
And football has begun, baby.
You excited, ain't you?
Oh, yeah.
We got some PLL this weekend.
Let's go.
We got a wild card race to talk about.
Let's go.
We got some, hey.
And a new haircut.
Can the girl say it herself? Just hold on.
I mean, the fans can see
just hold,
with their eyes.
Just hold on, brother. And we got some college football stuff to talk about, right?
College football.
All right, our premier partner for this and last season is Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. Ray is a friend of the program and the only mortgage lender we endorse right here at Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. I actually ran into Ray over the weekend, did not realize it. His daughter's a couple of years or maybe a year behind Chelsea. They were trying out for the same AAU program. I think she's already been a part of it, and now our daughter is a part of a new AAU program. We got the email Thursday night. Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage is one of our partners, along with Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller Marquise Evans with Keller Williams Capital Properties. If you would like to become a partner, sponsor, donor, or friend of the program, simply look on the show notes of all Season 3 episodes. Before we get into today's episode, I'm going to switch it up. DJ Krissy, you are first. How's it going, young lady? We never let her go first. Let her go first this week, right?
Oh, I'm first.
You are first, young lady.
I like it.
Ladies first, ladies first.
All right, Queen Latifah. Talk to us, Krissy.
Let's see. How was the weekend? A couple of fun parties. I mean, one day went over the top. Like they had individual teepees for every member that was there.
What?
Yeah.
And it was in the backyard.
Photos? We got photos of this?
Yes, I'll show you.
I certainly do have photos. Trying to social distance at a kid's party. It was amazing.
It's not gonna
And
happen. It's tough. It's tough for kids to do that. They did their best. I'm still wrapping my brain around individual teepees for like
Right?
all the
it was
guests.
amazing.
I mean,
Well, it was for the kids.
lot can
That's
go
pretty
on.
cool.
Not for all the adults, but for the kids.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And I had spa day. Spa day.
Krissy did the spa day thing.
I did.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Sorry, I'm showing pictures of the teepees.
Show it on your. There we
Did
go.
everybody see that?
That's cool.
Individual teepees for everyone.
Just cool.
That's going over the top. I'm
Somebody
sure
got
that
some
might
bank.
have cost a little bucks.
Somebody got
Probably.
some bank.
But someone spent some bank on the spa, I think.
I'm going to show it off.
Well, go for it.
Looking smooth.
All right.
looking good.
DJ Krissy did a spa
Beautiful.
thing. It
Beautiful.
wasn't just hair, though.
No, I got my nails done. I did the whole thing.
She did. She
She did
treated
the damn
herself.
thing.
She treated herself. Yeah, she does.
Yes.
I've tried to encourage her to do that. That made me very happy that she did that. She rolled out. She rolled out during the day. I didn't see her till night.
Wow.
Krissy treated herself.
I was gone for a while.
She might have had some dinner too. Go ahead, Krissy.
Any mimosas? Any champagne with this spa day?
No, but
A
Tequila.
little
There-
tequila you later.
Maybe after I got home.
There may have
You
been
deserve
something.
it. You deserve it.
Speaking of tequila, I got to talk to you about that. When we get into the
Yeah, no.
Your part?
Mexico.
All right, Coach O'Neill. What about you, fella? How was your week?
Week was great. I'm still thinking back to the TPs, but we did a 7-year-old birthday party for Claire not this weekend, but the last weekend. And we had shout out to the Great Zucchini. You ever heard of the Great Zucchini?
I have
before?
heard of the Great Zucchini. He comes out and does a lot of kids
he
parties.
came out and did a party. Great
I think
Zucchini.
I've been to one with him.
Did a couple, his bits and sort of the flowers popping and the magician stuff and
that's
the
fun.
kids. It was great. So shout out to all the little kids having birthdays. My father's birthday is tomorrow. So when this episode is released, he will be 79. So shout out to Brendan
Go
O'Neill,
ahead.
who has supported the podcast
From
Big
day
time
one.
supporter from
Day
day
one.
one. Big
Day
time.
My
one.
friend Debbie's birthday is tomorrow, 9/14.
9/14.
All
So
right.
birthday for Big Brendan. But I had a
All
great
right, we
week.
can give him a little bit of
Yeah.
that. Happy birthday,
Shout
Brendan.
out, Pops. BB. That's his grandfather name, BB. So
BB.
we great week building the company, working interviews, building it. Just a lot to do and a lot to look forward to. So I'm rocking and rolling. It's great to be with everybody.
Coach Turner, I'm passing the mic to you.
I'm lonely.
How was your week?
I'm lonely on I Street, man.
Oh, come on, man.
Aw.
Come
I
on,
miss
man.
I miss my partner. in
Can you send him an
crime,
edible
man.
arrangement or something? Let him know you're thinking about him, a teddy bear or something.
Looking across at that empty office, man.
Oh, man. But you're a trooper, though.
I gotta survive. I got too much stuff I gotta take care of. down
Right.
there. But not the same place without you, man. And
I miss you, buddy.
miss having you down there. But great weekend. Friday night got a chance to help Coach T and the football team out, and myself and shout out to Joe Sampinero. The two of us did the color and play-by-play for the live stream.
Why don't you tell me I
for
want
the
to listen?
family and friends.
I want to listen.
I'll make sure to do it the next time.
Please.
But it's always fun. So this is the second time the two of us did it together. We did it for one of the games during COVID a year ago, or not even a year ago. It was in the spring.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then we had a chance to do it for a night game down on I Street.
That's cool.
The only
Like
thing
a
that
night
makes
game.
it tough, man, we did it from the library, and it's a great point of view. But we had these unbelievable, beautiful pillars that lead you to the steps down, and there's one area that blocks. But we have a monitor in
Okay.
in the library with us. The only thing is, our football team's got some pretty slick uniforms.
It's
But
tough to see. The
however-
When they wear the purple with the black numbers,
Tough to see.
tough to see. So I feel like at times it was a delay on us, calling out the player who made the play.
Sure.
And that part of it was tough, but man, it was great. It
So
was
you
great
know-
to see. It was great to see I Street blooming again, packed house, student body was there rocking it for the fellas.
for the second home
For
game
the second,
of the year.
second home game of the year.
Third
man.
game
It
of
was
the season.
Great turnout. Coach O'Neill and his class and a bunch of other classes had their
Yeah.
reunion that weekend.
Oh, good.
So
Yeah.
the I Street was back to I Street.
It was on and popping.
And so it was great to be able to be there and to see that and to feel like that normalcy again.
Right.
And that was special. So I was excited for that. And then the boys did their thing, 19-0. 3 games in, 3-0, number 1 in the city, and have only been scored upon once, and had it unbelievable inside the 5, 4 down
Goal line stand.
goal line stance. It was unbelievable. Our defense, telling you right now, Coach T's got them dudes flying around.
They're hungry.
and they're making plays.
They let up 7 points in 3 games.
Yep.
But I want to add to reading the jersey numbers. There's 2 people or 2 types of people in their work field. Broadcasters. I'm sure you've called games where they have jerseys and you're like, I can't read the number. And
Like gray with silver numbers.
Yeah,
Why
what
are
do
you
you
doing
think?
that to me? Now you know what I
and-
feel like.
They have banned that for basketball.
and opposing coaches when you're watching scout film and you just pulling your hair out because
Yes.
you literally cannot tell the number on said film that comes through.
Or maybe they don't give you a roster.
But for announcers, it's
And I have to say, shout out to our student body who now is doing some they've got a club for video and communications. And
they got it down.
They were great on the camera. They were on the plays. They made being able to call the game very easy.
Good.
So shout out to our guys in the student body who took care of that. And just happy to be back in here with you guys on the Mental Health Monday, man. This is exciting to be back in the house with the crew.
It's different when we're together, right?
It's
a different energy.
Always different. And then, the other things that happened this weekend, as I told you, my boy Leo, lost his dad a couple weeks ago. And,
I'm sorry.
And we were able to just be there for them this weekend and support them. And it was good to just have our arms around them and be with them and the family this week.
Leo's another one of those guys where my crew didn't necessarily match his crew or your crew, but y'all never made me feel like I wasn't part of it,
I think that's just the Blair way.
Yeah,
like really is. I mean,
that's a whole episode.
That could be an episode. As I like to call Blair, I called it Benetton.
Right.
United Colors. We had such a variety of race, creeds, and colors on our campus, and I don't care who you were, they got along. Like there was rarely big. The fights weren't within.
Right.
It would have been us versus somebody else.
Right.
And that was a beautiful thing to be a part of for 4 years over there at Blair High School.
The original Blair on Wayne Avenue.
The Blair. I always say the real Blair.
Right. So look, my week was great. My highlights include the first week of school is now complete. Let me tell you, there's a learning curve when both kids are in middle school. You're trying to match up arrival times to school, pickup times. This one wants to stay after for clarinet. This one's staying after for play rehearsal and all this stuff. And now we've thrown AAU in there every Monday and Wednesday. So I enjoyed some great weather on the deck and perhaps a cigar. I might have done a Monte Cristo number 2. And of course, the NFL is back, and I ain't mad with some Sunday football. But let's hit our first break, and we will be back with this week's headline. Kurt Cross here, producer of Take It To Yo with Turner and O'Neill. For more than 20 years, I have seen Gene the Barber for my haircuts. I am proud to say that Gene the Barber is now the owner of a new shop, his own shop, Max Life Barber and Salon. Max Life is family-friendly with barbers and stylists for men, women, and children. Located at 6859 New Hampshire Avenue in Tacoma Park, Maryland, Max Life Barber and Salon is now the new home of Gene the Barber. Of course, you'll get Gene's signature service, but now Gene has several barbers to choose from. Schedule an appointment today by calling 240-687-7253 and tell Gene that the Take It To Yo team sent you.
Take It To Yo with Turner and O'Neill can be found on more than 15 podcast platforms. Listen to us on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Spotify, and other podcast platforms. Tune in on your preferred podcast platform. Be sure to listen, subscribe, and spread the word. Take It To Yo with Turner and O'Neill records weekly with episode drops each Thursday at 11 a.m.
One Headline is brought to you by
Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. With a stellar reputation as an outstanding mortgage lender, Ray Cruz serves the lending needs of real estate professionals, builders, and individual homebuyers in Maryland, Washington, D.C., Virginia, Texas, California, Florida, Illinois, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Ray believes that integrity is the cornerstone of his business, and helping you achieve your home financing goals is his business. Located in the heart of Bethesda, Maryland, contact Ray P. Cruz today to get started. Your home mortgage or refinance options await. Call 301-761-2278 or visit raypcruz.com. Ray P. Cruz, mortgages intelligently.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It To Yo with Turner and O'Neill. Welcome back to Take It To Yo with Turner and O'Neill. Today's episode is brought to you by Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. This week's headline, Coach Turner, we haven't chopped it up. Your experience in Mexico with Team USA, the floor is yours.
Unbelievable.
All right, and that is your one headline.
It's hard to put into words because it was unique, different.
Right.
Certainly nothing I expected in being a part of USA and saying, hey, if I get this opportunity to be a coach on the staff and go travel, then boom, COVID.
Right.
Like you feel, you talk about the bubble in the NBA. We've talked about that on the show, and to almost pretty much kind of live it.
Right.
7 days in Houston, pretty much locked into the hotel or the practice facility. Then a flight, COVID test up to my eyeballs every day. Literally out of I think it was 19 days or 18 days, 17 days in a row, COVID test. Twice when you get to one city, get to Houston, quarantine to your room, dinners, lunch, breakfast being brought to your door for a couple of days until they.
You didn't mind that?
Nah, I didn't like it. Like I told my wife, I told Leah, I said, I promise you, if I ever did something that forced me to go to jail, I'm done.
Right.
Like I locked into where you basically tell me this is all you got for this time, and maybe you get out for an hour. Nah, not for the kid.
How many days?
So
Quarantine.
Well, when we got to Houston, it was basically like a day and a half, and then still, you're there, and most of the time you're in your room.
Zooms and everything with the team.
Zoom
the
the first couple of days, but then we were able to start going to our team room.
Right.
So you could get out for that, and then that's like snack room where you could walk down to, but you couldn't leave out the hotel. Get through getting the team made, and now it's pack the bags, let's roll, heading to Mexico. In Mexico, it's 11 days there. Opportunity to go chase the gold. You're playing pool play, and team really rocked it through pool play, and then it's now do or die.
Right.
Day off, and then it's go for broke.
Yeah.
So for me, like the part of the experience that I think was unbelievable was the resiliency of our kids. You get a little bit of I don't like that, or I don't know, but to be in a foreign country, to be pretty much locked down to nothing but hoops. I gotta say hats off to these young men.
I mean, you love hoops and all.
Yeah, you love it, but you're giving up almost 3 weeks of your time to play for your country, which I think is the most incredible part of the experience. And pressure on too, because this age group has never lost.
Correct.
Not a game. Not just never lost the gold medal, but never lost a game. So I think the kids have a little pressure, but the coaches, we got pressure.
You don't want to be that guy, right?
You don't want to be on that. You don't want to be associated with that roster that has the first one or doesn't come home with the gold. And so at times you feel that a little bit, but I think is, guys who are professional, and I can say Coach Sharman and Coach Flan, who I got to work with on the staff, and those guys have been through some of these already. Flan, I think, has been a part of this thing for seems like 20 years. And those, I always say, if I've worn the shirt before, I never lose. I'm always learning. And the things I was able to learn from these guys to continue to hone my craft and be able to bring back to my guys here in DC was unbelievable. And it made the experience that more unforgettable. And the people who are a part of USA that make the things happen, who are even behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, man, it's a world-class organization, and they do it the right way, and they make you feel like such a part. I don't think have had any other kind of experience in basketball like this one. And so, man, I'm still smiling, You get home, you look at that gold medal. It's something that's they can never take away from you. And it was something that I've always said, I hope and prayed at some point that maybe someone would recognize and think of me enough to say that I was worthy of, first of all, working with the teams, but then to be able to have that call come.
Because you've done clinics and some stuff, right?
So I've been a court coach for 2.5 years, which brings you in.
Yeah.
You come to the mini camps, you come to the training camps.
Colorado or?
In Colorado. We've been down in Orlando. I think it was Orlando before. And doing those are great. Like it's unbelievable. You're getting to work with some of the best in the country at all different age groups, but to then have that next step happen. And it happened because of, one of my rivals and very good friends gets.
So hold on, it's like the Hall of Fame call when they knock on the door.
Yeah, like
you got that
Mike
call.
leaves, and you're like, oh, who could it be? Who might be next?
And then
who can it be?
And then
now?
that call comes, and it's like, man, I'm not gonna lie, like a kid in a candy store, man. You're like,
right.
shit, I'm going to be coaching,
Right.
go fight for the gold. And I'm just
But
very thankful and just proud to be able to be a part of it and have an opportunity to do it.
I hope we recognize two things there. Give the flowers before the funeral, right? And I was talking to someone, I don't know who I was talking to and why, but you don't have to create your own swag, this, that, and the other. You put in the work, they'll come find you. And you know who I heard that from, actually? KRS-One. He said, when you hone your craft and you become great at what you do, you don't chase the money's going to chase you. So that dream of being able to sit on that sideline, they came and found you. Yeah. You put in your work.
And you have those conversations like Sean Clifton, my cousin, and Kurtis, you know him. And actually, Casey,
Sean supports everything.
Met Sean, he's been down, comes down to school. And you know, he and I, he's like the guy that he's my springboard. Like when I'm thinking about things or I got questions about things, I can always go and talk to him because he's like, you know, he's like my big brother. And he's just always saying, man, like they'll recognize it. Like just be patient, bide your time, continue to be who you are, and those opportunities will come. And there's a lot of things that have happened to me in coaching that like I'm sitting there saying like someday like, man, my cousin got some godlike powers because he's called it. Like he's called it. He called it from the beginning when I took over at Gonzaga and had a couple tough years. And you're like, man, just you're gonna be good. Just you got to get your own players in the school. Looks like they trust you and believe in you. And now, you know, 23 years later is in the school and 18 is ahead. He called it right. And then even about this, even some little things like getting the Nike sponsorship, being a part of working Nike camps and doing the different things that I've had the opportunity to do through basketball. But he's always said like, USA will come calling. Just be patient and just keep doing your work. And someone out there is going to recognize it. And God willing, they did. And I'm a gold medalist.
Got some miles under your belt. What you got, Coach O'Neal?
I'm just proud of Steve and proud that no one deserves this opportunity and that experience more than Coach Turner. So it's, I've thought about it as a lacrosse coach for years, seeing peers of mine, maybe not in the high school level, but the college level coaching, you know, in the world games. And what greater honor can you have as a coach than to be able to do something like that? And that pressure too is real. I mean, you just talked about it, the pressure of they've never lost a game. Lost a game.
Nah.
And to go in there and to know that you're going to leave your family for 3 weeks, to do the things that you've got to do, but to come through and sigh relief, but a lot of work is ahead still. Like,
now that team is qualified. You know, this age group is qualified for the 17U next summer in Spain. So, you know, fingers crossed that I'll get that call again.
Yeah, you're gonna catch a soccer game while you out there.
Man, if I go to Spain, I'm staying extra time, and I'm going to Portugal after that.
Yeah, you are. Steve, we've so always been proud of what you've done. Episode 1, we talked about how proud I was when you won your DC City title. And we've seen your success over the years, but no one in this room is surprised. You know, the call's gonna come. And you don't want to be someone else to get there because they're gonna call you based on who you are. And if it took an extra year or it takes, you know, however long it takes, you got that call. And I'm not saying that that's the end all be all, but it came. Get game recognized game, right?
That's true. But I tell you, there's a nerve to it because I think at this stage of in the game as a coach, I certainly know who I am as it pertains to coaching my guys because that's the norm. And even when I get to camps and things, you feel pretty comfortable because you're like, I've done this enough times. But this was new.
And you got to take the show on the road.
Like this was new. And it's like, all right, got to have game on. You know, I'm just gonna say it like I always felt it. I don't want to fuck this up.
Right.
I want to make sure.
You can't second guess yourself.
And you can't second guess yourself
ever.
But you do. I'm not gonna lie.
Internally you do.
And I even had conversations, man. You guys good? I'm taking care of business, and because you have this opportunity, you certainly want to continue to be a part of it. You want to continue to be a part of that fraternity, and you want to be able to have that next opportunity to do it again or to chase the next one.
So quick question from me. What was your main role with the group? I mean, was it offensive? Was it defensive? Was it adjustments? Was it helping, see this? Was it work with the forwards or the guards?
So I worked, in skill development, I worked with the wings and the guards, and play calling, help putting in slobs and blobs, which sideline out of bounds, baseline out of bounds plays. and then just kind of,
Coach he's got some good ones too.
Kind of just going over, a little bit of everything, and always, for me, when I'm becoming an assistant and I look back to my time with Dick, is like, I'm taking care of the kids.
Right.
Like I'm gonna make sure Coach can handle his thing, and I'm gonna make sure that these other guys are in line, in place to do their things. And so I was able. It was neat to go back to that seat, go back 18 inches. Yeah. You get to the front of 18 inches, but to go back, and then for me, I'm a believer in being a server and a servant to help. So for me, it was like, I would even ask Coach Sharman sometimes, hey, what do you need from me?
Exactly.
Like, I'm going to do whatever I need to do for you, because I'm an extension to you, and I want to be able to make sure that we get this because of you. This ain't about me. And even it ain't even about, other than us just, man, as a team going and getting this mission done. And man, I can just say, man, I was a part of mission accomplished. And we had to go through some tough teams in the end to get it. Like, Canada's very good. Argentina. They played a different style than Argentina, man. Whew. Talk about shooters and shoot the lights out. And I mean, I think the thing we pride ourselves in is our depth.
Yeah.
But against any team that we
1
go
through 15,
against,
huh? 1 through 12.
1 through 12. I know let's take the starters out. 6 through 12, we're going to be better than everybody. And the unique thing I thought about Argentina was they could go 1 through 10 and not have a drop off. Doesn't mean that their next 5 were as good as our 5, but their kids were so consistent. Consistent. Like they could sub in different guys and not really miss a beat. And a lot of it came to their ability to shoot the ball, which we all know now is a major part of the game.
Well, their beat wasn't as strong as Team USA. And like I tell the kids, when you go over there and second guess, and I don't want to mess this up, still 84 by 50. Free throw line is still 15 feet. The basket's still 10 feet. And I don't know what they're doing these days with three-point line. Is it 21-9, 21-6? It's 19-9 in high school. I don't know where it is now.
We're a little beyond that in the FIBA game. I'm going to be honest with you, I like the FIBA rules.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think they should
take it right off the rim.
They should bring more of the FIBA rules into the U.S. game. I think you're quietly seeing that also already from the style of play.
I want to see them be able to take the ball off the rim.
Enough kids don't understand how to do it. Like, we had one young man who
not until you teach him
who tried. And we talked about it. We constantly talked about it. We have one man who try to get it every now and then.
And it's not a goaltend. I love it. No, just swipe that bad boy right off the rim.
Swipe it off and go.
Hey, we got a guest that we got to get to. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your one headline. O'Neill Development is a custom builder in Maryland, Virginia, Washington, D.C., and the Eastern Shore. Recognized nationally as a premier builder, O'Neill Development has received awards for historic restoration and urban infill work. Committed to best practices in green building, O'Neill Development also provides support in budgeting, architect selection, and design development during the critical stages of planning. O'Neill Development, building, remodeling, and development since 1975. Find us at www.o'neilldev.com or call 301-840-9310.
Connect with us socially on Instagram and Facebook at Turner O'Neill Podcast, on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, on YouTube, just search Turner and O'Neill, then subscribe. And of course, you can visit our website at www.turnerando'neill.com.
Winsight Media delivers connections and intelligence to four of the fastest growing verticals: convenience retailing, grocery businesses, restaurants, and non-commercial food service through broad and cutting-edge platforms. No company is better positioned to meet the food industry's needs than Winsight. Connect with us at www.winsightmedia.com.
The Starting Five is brought to you by...
From Washington, D.C. to Ocean City, Woodbridge to Columbia, Richmond to Virginia Beach, the hottest DJs are right here. The Mid-Atlantic Professional DJ Association.
Dynamic DJ Entertainment, the most experienced professional DJ service in the DMV. For 35 years, our DJ talent has been the energy behind more than 14,000 events. If you're planning your wedding, school dance, corporate event, Sweet 16, or any event, our talented team has the right mix of music and MC skills to bring the energy and turn any event into an epic event. In 35 years, our DJs have performed in front of more than 2 million guests in 26 states. Our services include dynamic DJ talent, karaoke, giant games, atmospheric effects, movie nights, and more. Contact us today and let's make your next event an epic event. Dynamic DJ Entertainment. Visit thepartybeginsnow.com or call 301-942-4500 to get the party started.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It to Yo with Turner and O'Neill. The starting five. Welcome back to Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. This segment is brought to you by Dynamic DJ Entertainment. We're up to our starting five. 5 questions we ask of each coach, plus our rapid fire round. Krissy, if they go over their 30 seconds, because that's all they get, what will happen?
It's not gonna happen.
All right, everyone knows how it goes. We're in a hurry because we don't want to be late for our guests. Gentlemen, I'm going to start with you, Coach Turner. Name a song that you know all the words to.
Man, there's a lot of those.
Jeez.
He's taking forever, see?
Award tour.
All right, name a song you know all the words to, Coach O'Neill.
A lot of them. I'm going to country. Eric Church, Springsteen.
All right, favorite roller coaster, Coach O'Neill.
King's Dominion, the Grizzly.
Favorite roller coaster, sir.
Loch Ness Monster.
Switch lives with one person for one day. Who are you switching with? And don't say Drake.
Different times, different. I'm gonna switch lives with. Ooh, that's a tough one, Coach, because there's a lot of people that I would do that with.
DJ Kurtis.
Oh, please.
Let's go.
I'm switching lives with Obama.
All right, who are you switching lives with, sir?
First name that came to mind, for some reason, Jeff Bezos or one of those.
Oh, okay.
That would be
All right, you'd be divorced, but okay.
Yeah.
Bring back one TV series. Which one do you bring back? I know what you want. You want the Greatest American Hero or the A-Team.
I do want that. Or, gosh, what's the one that I loved that I used to talk about? Oh, man. A-Team would be great. A-Team would be awesome.
What
the original.
There is a ton that I would bring back.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go with my basketball love.
Uh-huh.
The White Shadow.
The White Shadow, baby. The White Shadow,
White
baby.
Shadow.
Casey, we're going rapid fire.
Go.
What thing, a worst thing that happened to you this year? You woke up and realized you weren't going to see Coach Turner every day?
I think it was that. Yeah, it was having to have that initial conversation with folks at school, especially Joe Rada, that I just was regretting to have to tell him I'm moving on.
Would you be a better mechanic or suit salesman?
Probably mechanic.
Personalize your license plate. What would it say? Besides, let's go.
Hollywood.
What brings a tear of joy to your eye?
Man, every morning when I get up and get that just hug from my I love all my kids, but that little one, when they're at that age and just wraps her arms around you, man, just gives me a little something every day.
What would be worth maxing out your credit card for?
Making sure that my wife Erica had everything that she needed, where she didn't have to feel stress in her life with work and just anything.
Coach Turner, your rapid fire 5. Best thing that happened to you this year?
Man, I made it to 50.
My man, would you be a better real estate agent or car salesman?
Oh, did you say real estate or
car salesman?
Either or, because I could sell. But I'm going with real estate, man. I like houses.
Rare Essence or Junkyard?
Junkyard.
RAREE.
Ooh, man.
And pork.
We getting 30 seconds on this one. I'm going to RE. They just got more hits.
All right. What is a common topic at your dinner table?
J-Rock.
What great mystery do you want solved?
I don't think it's a mystery, but what I want solved is racism.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is your starting 5. The starting 5. A-Squared Home and Office Solutions is the go-to source for home or office network and audio-visual solutions. We can help with smart home integration, wireless networking, media rooms, security systems, and more. We will link technology to your lifestyle seamlessly. Read our reviews online. Visit homeandofficesolutions.com for more info or call 240-356-8832. A-Squared Home and Office Solutions. We are home advisor, screened, and approved.
Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill would like to thank our friends of the program: Thomas Alford, Melissa Alshab, Margie Billings, Adam Cross, Chelsea Cross, Paula Cross, Lynn Johnson, Erica O'Neill, Sean Parker, Kathleen Talbot, Andrea Tarones, Timothy Whittier. If you'd like to become a friend of the program, go to www.turnerando'neill.com and click Become a Friend. Collins Funeral Home has served families of Greater Washington with compassion and kindness since 1939. Our friends John and Terry McHugh carry on this family tradition into the third generation. The McHugh brothers, along with their experienced funeral directors and caring staff, are ready to assist you at any time. Whether you have experienced a loss, need to make plans in advance, or simply have a question, please contact them to discuss how they can assist at your time of need. Visit collinsfuneralhome.com or call 301-593-9500.
This segment of Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill is sponsored by World Class Training, locations in Rockville, Maryland and Alexandria, Virginia. Performance training and physical therapy. That's what you'll find at Healthy Baller. Hi, this is Kurt Cross, producer of Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill. Paula and I have our 13 and 11-year-old children training with the wonderful crew at Healthy Baller Rockville. Healthy Baller has created a customized training experience for our kids, and we are super pleased with the results. Their excellent training and dedication to each athlete is apparent from your first consultation through the ongoing training sessions. Paula and I can personally attest to the results. Become your own success story. They offer group and team training, individual workouts, or semi-private training in Rockville and Alexandria. Call 844-622-5537 or visit healthyballer.com.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest is a friend and colleague of our own Coach Steve Turner. They just spent a couple of weeks together working with Team USA to bring back the gold with the young men of the U16 Team USA division. Coach Sharman White is in his 10th assignment with USA Basketball. I'll tell you, we cannot do justice to Coach White's resume, so let's bring him on. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Coach Sharman White.
Thank you for having me. This is
Hey, Coach, that's a nice shirt, brother.
yeah, I was looking at that. I like your style.
Yes, I had to wear it. I've worn this once during the podcast, and that's when we had, I can't think of who we had. Oh, we had Coach Showalter on the show.
Nice.
And I had to wear this for Coach Show. I don't even wear it for Steve. So, Coach White, I respect you, sir.
See, man, I told you big time. You big time.
Look, I'm on his Instagram. I'm on his Twitter. I'm following pictures, his family, fireworks. I'm with him at dinner. I follow this guy. So look, Coach Sharman, thank you. I believe you know the fella right here to my right, Coach Turner. Greet your compadre.
Coach, good to
What's
see
up,
you.
Stevie Wonder?
And not too much. Glad to have you on here, man.
Glad to be on here, man.
Excellent. And in the studio, we have Casey O'Neill. We have DJ Krissy. Please greet our guests for the week.
Hello, how are
Hey,
you?
Casey. Hey, DJ. How you guys doing?
Hey, Coach, thanks for joining us. Steve has been a longtime colleague of mine. I coached lacrosse and was the assistant AD at Gonzaga for close to 15 years. So you're about to get another follower. I just looked him up on the gram here. I'm going to hit follow. So now you have 3,400.
I'm saying he doesn't need us. He got a million followers out there.
He's got plenty. But it's great to meet you. It's great to have you. Can't wait to chop it up, my friend.
Oh, man. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
You know, Coach, knowing Steve, knowing his passion for basketball, it was an honor for us to sit right here in this studio and watch on that monitor up there. I had to watch it in Spanish because there was no English broadcast, but we watched it up there in HD, no doubt. You guys look great, but look, you guys were in Mexico. We were back here catching all the action. We want to offer our congrats first on bringing home the gold, but next, please walk us through how this opportunity to become the head coach came about? Because I think you were not necessarily thrust there, but it was kind of like, oh, okay, it's my moment now, right?
Yeah. Actually, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with Mike Jones, former head coach at DeMatha. We had did the 16s back in 2019, and we were set to do the 17s in 2020, and I was assistant on his staff. And me and Mike go way back as well. We worked together on several different ventures, coaching Jordan games together, and just, always been at Nike stuff, been involved with Nike things. So we were going into this 16U, 2021. We was prime, we was ready. And I can remember I was driving around in my car. I had just left the driving range. And so he called me and said, hey, he called me Slim. He said, Slim, look, I got an offer that I don't know if I'm going to be able to refuse. And I was like, what do you mean? And he said, got a chance to be associate head coach at Virginia Tech. And I knew when he said it, I said, he has to take that. He can't turn that down. And so he was telling me, he said, the recommendation is for you to be the head coach for the U16 junior national team. And, it kind of played itself out for a day or so. And then I get a call from who's the director, and he presented it to me, and again, like you said, it was kind of like the moment, just saying, this is a grand opportunity, because I was going into it with the whole mindset of being an assistant to Mike and helping him in whatever he needed and trying to bring home another gold medal. And so when that happened, things changed. As we say in the coaching world, it's a big difference between those 12 inches from the second seed to the first seed, and it kind of turned into that real fast. And so, it took off from there.
My man. And we're so proud that we got to see you do that. Coach Turner.
Coach, I probably have a little bit of the answers to some of these questions, but I think it'd be great for our listeners to hear it from you. And again, you've been a part of USA for a long time now, and we can definitely talk about your resume. You getting me right now. You're 1-0 against me. So in an unbelievable game we talk about all the time. And I did find those pictures this week, so I'm going to send them your way.
Awesome.
But talk to our listeners a little bit about the gold standard and what that means with USA Basketball.
I mean, it's an incredible culture at USA Basketball. I tell people all the time. I was speaking at a clinic yesterday, and I was telling some of the attendees that, USA Basketball, that culture is unmatched. I think from a professional standpoint, from a college standpoint, the culture is unmatched because the expectations are so high, and they're so the way they do things in an efficient manner and professional, and everything is done and represented. It's almost like it's an honor to be able to serve. It's kind of like if you make the comparison. Now, I'm not trying to make the comparison of being a military person, but I get that somewhat of a feel when you serve your country when you say basketball, because no, I'm not on the battlefield, but I am serving my country. And so it's an incredible honor, and that culture is just matchless in how it's done, and the people that are in charge, they do it the right way. And again, I'm pretty sure Steve can attest to this. When we go there, it's totally the honor is it's an honor for us to be able to even be able to participate.
Coach O'Neal here, and speaking of USA Basketball and speaking of that gold standard, you've got players that are at elite level, but you have an idea of who they are. You've seen them, they've been to camps, and you know who they are, but getting the inside out with these kids to collectively sort of go for something that everybody wants, which is a gold medal, but it takes a coach to kind of get that inside out of them. So what are some of the tools where you have to kind of speed up to really get into the mindset of these kids that come from around the country, to really get to know them in a short amount of time? Do you know what I'm talking about? So what are some of the tools you use to develop that trust very quickly? Because if your players trust you, you're going to get so much more out of them. But you and Coach Turner and the rest of the staff at USA Basketball have to get that pretty quickly and let a lot of kids put those egos aside. And can you talk about that a little bit, sort of what that process is?
Yeah, and the process this time was a little bit different than it normally is because of COVID. And like, I'm glad you said that, because it's a staff. It's not just me. We all have to do our part to try to make sure we lay that foundation of trust with the kids. And it started kind of early with us. We kind of got on a couple of Zooms with them, trying to get to know them a little bit. We looked at film on all of them, because we couldn't evaluate them in person, and we didn't any mini camps to go off of. So we had to just basically kind of go right into it. But we were fortunate enough because the way that the schedule kind of got adjusted, that we were able to have a mini camp with the 30 kids or the 27 kids that eventually tried out in May, because we were scheduled to start training camp at that time, but they pushed the event back. And so we were able to have a mini camp, and that it really allowed us to get a chance to get in there and know the kids, get to know what they were like, kind of see how they, not just off the court. And it helped us tremendously. So when we came back in July, we had a pretty good idea. We were able to go in and try to select the 12, which is probably one of the most difficult parts of this whole process. Getting down from 27. Some of these kids they've never been cut from anything because they've been the best player. They've been a top player, on their teams or in their, club teams or what have you. And so that is an extremely challenging part. And the thing about it, about the top 12, it's about the right 12. And so we were tasked with the challenge of trying to make sure we find the right 12, because you can get the top 12, and if they don't if there's no cohesion, there's no trust, no belief, and no aspirations to be able to achieve what we're trying to achieve, that could just, it could blow up in your face. And so we just wanted to pick the right 12. And it's probably some kids that some people say, how did this kid get cut? How did this kid get cut? Right. But again, we're forced with the task of being able to put together the right 12. And so I thought we did a really good job of that. We thought the team meshed pretty well, and they trusted us, and it was tough for them. We were kind of in a bubble, and so they had to and we had to get tested 17 straight days. It's not fun getting poked in your brain 17 straight days, first part of the day. But they endured, and they came out, and they accomplished the mission. And just texting with some of them here and there, now that they've done it, they're so elated and they're so proud and they're so excited that they got a chance to do that, because during the process, it got tough for them. They got homesick. The food was a little different, and they just were out of their comfort zone. But when you're out of your comfort zone, we tell them all the time, that's when you grow. And I think a lot of those kids did grow.
Awesome. Thank you,
Coach. I know it looks different on TV than when you're sitting on that seat, but you never seem to flinch, if you will, during the tougher rounds of FIBA. Pool play is pool play, but particularly against Canada and Argentina, when you advance, what resolve did you have to those of us watching that carried your leadership to winning that goal? Because look, I'm watching games and I'm texting Steve. I'm like, Steve, did y'all really just drop 130? Did y'all really just do that? And so we're watching, we're loving it, we're enjoying it, but then it got tough. And I was recording a different podcast one night where I look up and USA is down by 5. And then 2 minutes later, USA is up by 18. So how does that happen? Like, how do you rein that back in and show that resolve and teach it to kids that you only met in May, and then you see them in July, and then boom, we're off and running?
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's been a philosophy of mine my whole career. I was, told by some older coaches when I first got in, say you do your coaching in practice. And so I do a lot more yelling. I'm a little bit more assertive. I'm a little bit more demanding in practice. When you get to the games, you make adjustments. And I think that's what we were trying to do throughout that time during the game. We were trying to see what was working, what was not, who was playing well, who was not, what group worked well together. And those are all things, and Steve can attest to this, as a head coach. He knows that we got to see the game through the telescope and not through the microscope. You kind of got to figure it out ahead of time. It's like playing for the next move. And so we had to stick to our laurels in one of those games where we kind of backed off of what we had been doing. And so we had to get back to it. And once we got back to it kind of changed the game. Again, with it being, 15, 16-year-old kids, they're going through all these emotions. And if you are emotional and erratic, they're going to be. And so you have to kind of show them a sense of calm, because they got to know that, hey, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. We're going to figure this out. We're going to get back. And so I always want to be that picture. And I want, our staff was the same way, like Steve and Eric, they were the same way. Just, you couldn't tell if we were up by 20 or down by 20. And that's the way those kids kind of read it, and they kind of played off of that. And so they knew we were excited, though.
Excellent. I love it.
Before my question, I got to explain this, because as cool as he is right now on this screen, that is how he is as a coach. Like, he knew we're going to have a little pre-talk. Casey, this in lacrosse, you kind of get together with your staff before you walk into the locker room and have that conversation with the players. And coach, man, he was calm, cool, collective. He's like, look, we got this, and the kids are going to get this. And he brought that same attitude to the locker room. And I think his ability to be a calming force is certainly what made it easier for our guys to respect, understand, and then go do the things that we ask them to implement. Sometimes you see that coach who comes in and he's all, loud and yelling and screaming, and then the kids get flustered. And I have to say hats off to coach, because he carried it in a way that allowed our kids to calm down, understand that, look, we're going to do what we do, and let's go get this W. And that's what happened.
All right, your question, sir.
Coach, I'm going to take you to just your career, not just USA basketball, but your career. You have won for a long time. You won it at Miller Grove. You went on to college, and you came back. You're winning already at Pace Academy. All the wins that you've accomplished with USA basketball. What is it that you have instilled in your teams over the years to build a winning culture? Like, I know with USA, we have a gold standard, and maybe a part of that has become a part of that because of your dealings with USA basketball. But from the beginning of it all, like, who were the people who you idolized and learned from that allowed you to build your culture, and what does that culture look like for us?
Man, it's like a potpourri of different guys, from different levels. I mean, you can start with John Wooden, because I thought he was the greatest character coach we've ever seen. He did it his way. And then I love John Thompson, because he had that father figure role. You take guys like, I even taken some from Bobby Knight. As erratic and irrational as he might seem sometimes, the guy in basketball mind. I've just taken it from different people. Doc Rivers, I think he's one of the best guys about bringing a group together and trying to get them to accomplish one task. And then I got, some mentors that are local, that have, guided me and steered me throughout. But one thing that's been a mainstay for me throughout coaching and trying to bring teams together is, I think they got to understand, we say this all the time, you understand, to be a part of something that's bigger than yourself is probably one of the best things that can ever happen to you. And so that takes a level of commitment, that takes a level of trust. And we try to instill those things early on, because if you get commitment and trust, there's not too much you can't ask of those kids and ask them to do. And so, again, I've been fortunate to have some really good players as well. You can't do it. We can sit here and say all these nice little fancy things, but you got to have some players too. And I've had some really good players that believed in, because you can have good players and not get it done. But when you got good players that believe in what you're doing and they understand what it is you're trying to get done, and they know that you care about them as a person, because I've always said that if you love them hard, you can coach them hard, but you got to love them hard first. And that's been a mainstay of mine. And I've been able to, carry that throughout and getting the pace in these last 3 years and being able to win two consecutive state championships. My first 3 years there is a testament to that, because I never worked in a private school setting. I remember talking to you about when I was getting ready to go into this setting. I was like, hey, I've been a public school guy. You got to kind of tell me a little bit about it. And, it's worked out, but the love doesn't change. It doesn't matter if it's public, private, what have you. The love doesn't change. And, therefore, your methods don't really change.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach, for you to be the best you and for you to be the best coach, you need a little bit of balance. I think most coaches that are successful have balance in their lives. You've got a lot on the plate, coaching at Pace and Team USA, and I'm sure a lot of camps, a lot of clinics, a lot of speaking engagements. Talk to a lot of young coaches listening to our podcast about how the importance of sort of balance in your life and making the time to restore yourself, right? To step aside, see family, do the things you need to do. What does that look like for you to keep yourself like energized, motivated, and ready to go, where it's not basketball 24/7, even though as coaches, we're always thinking about like our team and our sport. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Family is the first thing, man. I got 2 kids, wife, and, again, I enjoy being around them. I enjoy, our little times together. I enjoy, just talking with, like, my wife. She's probably, she's the best assistant coach I've ever had. Basically.
Right.
She gives me a lot of great insight about how I need to look at things, because she's looking at it from a totally different window, through totally different lenses. And, we're looking at it through, basketball lenses. And sometimes we kind of get so ingrained in that we miss the point. And so she'll bring me back and let me look at it through a different way. And I'm telling you, man, that those are some of the greatest conversations. I love telling her about some of the things that go on, because I want to hear her insight. I want to hear her, kind of like a third party perspective. And so I think family is a big part of my balance in that. But I also try to find things to do that are outside of basketball. Steve, I like to try to play golf. So
I heard you mention that. We're gonna have to play.
Like to try to play golf. So that gives me something to kind of like get away from things, because you can't think about a lot of different things when you're on the golf course, because you're trying to be decent. So you can't afford to be thinking about a whole bunch of other stuff. But again, I tell young coaches all the time, man, you got to find that balance. You got to be able to find out. It's going to be times when you're going to go into the closet and try to, figure out what you're going to do basketball wise, but you also got to find a way to step out of that closet and be able to, be just a regular human being and, be a dad, husband, or be a friend, and just enjoy it and relish every minute of it. That's one of the things my wife is, I've had a lot of success and I don't, take none of it for granted. But one of the things I've started to learn in these last couple of years is, and she's been trying to tell me this for years, is enjoy it. Like, enjoy the moment. Stay in the moment. Don't look to the next thing. Because I used to always, you win a championship. All right, got to go back and we got to repeat. We got to do this. We got to do that. I got to, And now I've started to learn how to, even with this just recently with the gold medal, just soak in it a little bit, man. Just enjoy it and just, realize what you've done and take a little time out just to say, okay, that's pretty cool, And so that's where I'm at. And that's what the balance does for you. It does things like that.
Yeah.
Coach White, look, I'm glad you're doing that. You're in an almanac somewhere. You're in a USA basketball book. There are going to be people that you never get to meet who see what you've done with the support of these assistant coaches. So yes, please enjoy it. And I think Coach Turner has another question.
Before I get to my last question, I do have a little small question. How good were those crab legs in that Grand Marnier, Coach?
Oh man, it was the best. after eating what we ate for a good 2 weeks, it tasted like a steak and all that. It was so. Oh my God. I can remember how they tasted today.
And I love the pictures you were putting up with the kids in the trophy in the gold medal.
Oh man, they had a blast.
That was beautiful.
And I brought it home for them, and they just started throwing it on the floor, like reliving the moment, man. They had a ball with it. My son wanted to take the gold medal to school next day. No, we're not doing that.
No, we ain't doing all that.
We're not doing that.
maybe like on a career day, you could go with it, right?
I'll you, but we're not sitting at the school with you, no. Not a 9-year-old, no, sir.
So my last question for you, Coach. Is there a mantra that you live by? Not just in coaching, just in life. Like, is there a Bible verse? Is there a quote from somebody that kind of resonates with you that helps you not become, but helps you be the man that you are today?
It's a couple of things. I do have a Bible verse, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But I also have a mantra that I really, really, and I say this everywhere I go. I always, I never want to be complacent. And I always tell people this: complacency will get you replaced. And so I just live by that, and that's my driving force. The minute I get comfortable, the minute I think I've, accomplished everything, I need to step away, because I won't be able to, thrive at the level I've been able to thrive at if I just become complacent. So I really believe that complacency will get you replaced in any avenue of life.
I love it.
Coach O'Neal.
My last question, and this might be a hard one to answer, but has there been an impactful moment in your career? And it could be when you're alone, right? In the locker room, everyone's left, the gym's empty, be in the car driving back, where you just had that moment where you said, damn, like this is, all as coaches, you get alone, you get away from the family, you get away from the kids and the parents. And there's just that moment where it's, you just either won a big game or it wasn't a big game, or it was a moment in practice where you're like, this is the most impactful sort of moment in my career.
Man, I've had a lot of those, be honest with you. The one that stands out, probably now that I'm thinking, just thinking about what you're saying. Yeah. We were invited to Geico when I was at Miller Grove in 2016, and we were, one of the only public. invited. Most schools they're private, they're prep, different avenues of high school teams. But we played against Findlay Prep, and of course we were not favored. We were like a lower seed. We were a good team, but just not against those guys. Those guys had all kind of high caliber players, guys that are playing professionally now. In fact, Skylar Mays plays for the Hawks, and I ran into him, and he still remembered the game. And we were able to beat them, and we're still to this day the only public school to ever win a game in that event.
Let's go.
And it was unreal, and it was just a summation of all the years of we've had success, but to get that kind of signature win and that stage in New York, and we're just a little school that was in Lithonia, Georgia, a bunch of kids that just believed, and we didn't have no one over 6'5", and we had an All-American point guard, but just a lot of kids that just believed, and for us to be able to pull that off, it was truly, truly one of the most special moments that I've had as a coach. That made me. It was very emotional because it seemed like it was a dream. And then we went on to play Oak Hill, and we lost to them by 1. And we like to been one step away from playing for a national championship that we know most people just didn't give us the opportunity to do.
Coach White,
awesome.
slow down for a second. Did you say the Lithonia? Like you mean Panola Road, Lithonia?
Yes, sir.
Off I-20, exit 71. My mama used to live right there.
About that?
My mom, look, you take 285 to 85 to I-20. You get off on exit 71, Panola Road. My mom used to live right there. Come on now. I know Lithonia.
Wow. You know it. You really know it.
I know exit 71, brother. I know it. So look, we've asked all the questions, but now it's time to have fun. I don't know. I know after today, you're going to be a loyal viewer and listener, but if you don't listen, every week I ask these coaches 5 questions each. They get 30 seconds to answer them, but I'm only going to ask you one. When we get a guest, I only ask them one. Here's the trick. If you don't answer it in 30 seconds, DJ Krissy, tell them what happens. You're going to get the ding. All right. Now, usually I ask people about music. I ask them something fun. Buddy, I'm going in on you right now. I need your NBA all-time starting 5.
Magic Johnson.
Yes.
Michael Jordan. Larry Bird. Akeem Olajuwon. And Kevin Garnett.
Woo! How you gonna leave out Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
This Laker guy over here, man.
Olajuwon was the cold. He was just cold to me. Like he just, yeah. And then Kevin Garnett got the nasty. I need some nasty.
He got that fire.
That's my guy right there.
Yeah, and I gotta have Magic running the show, and Mike and Larry Bird gives us a different flavor that he can do it all. So.
Right. You know what? Can you argue with those starting 5?
No way. No.
You cannot argue with that starting 5. Please tell our viewers, tell our listeners how they can connect with you on social media, please.
Yes. On Twitter, I'm Coach S. White, and I'm actually the same Instagram, Coach S. White.
All right. Look, we have enjoyed this. It was an honor to have the gentlemen. We had 2 of the 3 gentlemen. We got to get the third coach on here too at some point.
Coach Eric Flynn.
Who kept it together through adversity, through COVID, through a bubble, through 17 swabs up their nose, 17 days in a row.
Don't remind me, please don't remind me.
But he came back to Crabs and Grand Marnier, it sounds like. Ladies and gentlemen, taking a CO with us today. Thank you, Coach Sharman White.
Thank you. And again, I just want to make sure I salute out my man, Steve Turner. He was a big friend, and I'm so glad he got a chance to do this. Along with him and Eric Flannery, they were a great staff. I enjoyed working with them.
Man, Coach, appreciate you and blessed to be able to work with you.
Nice to meet you, Sharman. Thanks.
All right,
man.
we'll see you, Coach
Thank
White.
you.
Congrats.
All
right now. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Coach Sharman White with us. We're going to come back after this break, and we will chop up this episode. Next Level Lacrosse. Train like a Spartan. Next Level Lacrosse is dedicated to providing a terrific lacrosse experience that is intensely focused on player development and character formation. Players at all levels will improve significantly through professional coaching and carefully designed training programs. We stress proper technique and a tireless work ethic. From beginning programs to rec leagues, travel clubs to summer programs, we develop the young and experienced athletes alike. Next Level Lacrosse has a rich tradition of running the best middle and high school lacrosse leagues in the DMV area. You'll find us at www.nextlevelspartans.com or call 240-497-1460.
We invite your questions, comments, and show ideas. Simply go to www.turnerandoneal.com and click Submit Your Idea.
Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill would like to thank our partners, sponsors, and donors. Our premier partner, Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. Our partners, Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller, the Insurance Alliance Group LLC, and Marquise Evans of Keller Williams Capital Properties. Our sponsors, O'Neill Development LLC, Next Level Lacrosse, A Squared Home and Office Solutions, Collins Funeral Home, and Peace Players International. And our donors, Winsight Media, and Gene the Barber, now Max Life Barber and Salon.
This segment of Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill is sponsored by...
If you're buying or selling your home, start your journey. Your goals plus our expertise equals success. Welcome to Keller Williams Capital Properties. Let us work with you to find and purchase the home of your dreams. Working with us guarantees you the local knowledge and market information you need. We are local experts with a reputation for excellence. We're here to help guide you through every step of the process with expert advice and representation. For more information, contact Marquise Evans at 301-357-5608 or visit www.yourmyagent.com. Keller Williams Capital Properties and Marquise Evans. www.yourmyagent.com.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill.
We are back with Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill. Thanks for listening and watching as we enjoy meeting you here each week. Gentlemen, Coach White from Georgia State to Pace, USA Basketball. We covered some bases. Your takeaways, and you've got plenty of takeaways. You know the guy.
I mean, one of the guys I respect the most in the business.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy that I've always been able to lean on when I've had some thoughts about things or some questions about things, and has always given back good advice. Even coming into USA Basketball, when I first got the first call to come to camp, he was one of the guys I called immediately. What am I looking for? What should I expect? And his message was simple, like probably too simple for me, but it was simple. Steve, be you.
Just do what you do. Yeah.
They're bringing you in because they respect who you are and what you've done. And there's, just come in here and be yourself. Don't try to be anybody you think you need to be. And certainly as simple as that is sometimes for all of us, that's tough, but it did ease my mind because it was one of those ones where you kind of have to look back at yourself in the mirror and say, all right, and you've prepared yourself for this. Go be who you are.
You got the call, right?
And then, just watching him, and you see him even on social media, he makes it clear he's true to his words. He's a family man. Like he makes sure that, they're out front and center in a part of what he does. And that's something, you guys know how I am, and I know how all you all are about family. That's something I know that means a lot to all of us here sitting at this table. And that's something that I respect and I admire about him.
Cool. Your takeaway, sir.
Make, zero mistake that the most successful coaches find the balance that he talked about. Family men, listen to their wives because we're no dummies,
right?
And she's going to tell him honestly.
Yep.
But what I really liked about him is that a lot of times he deflected a lot of the honors he's had to. I mean, I love at the end he mentioned you. Who's the other coach?
Coach Eric Flannery.
Coach Eric Flannery.
St. Edwards in Ohio.
And he talked about the things I love hearing coaches talking about, which is having a team buy in to the team.
Yep.
How proud he was that he had a team going back to Geico where they didn't have a kid over 6'5". They went up there, they beat Finley Prep, which is, what's going, kids from all over the country going to those places.
All over the world.
And he knows because he did it his way. He did it the right way. He mentioned some icons and coaches that he followed. And look, he had a plan in place. He's continuing to put that plan in place. and he's educating. He cares about the whole player, not just let's go win games. They're winning games because he cares about the players.
So 2 weeks in a row, the gold standard part 2 is what we're going to call this episode. Because we had the gold standard with Kiki last week. Yes. Thank you for bringing him on.
Yes, Steve.
My takeaway is, look, there's a gold standard. There is a common rhythm among successful coaches. You got to care about the players. Don't care what you know till they know that you care. Love them hard, coach them hard. And I agree with what he says. I learned that myself through coaching. You know what? I'm a ride him in practice. In games, you got to manage games, make adjustments. There's no 60-second timeout where you can teach them an entire drill. Right. So we just have to adjust. Remember, you're supposed to cut a little bit more flat, right? Just let's keep that in mind. Just bring it back together, right? And it sounds like that's what y'all did because, like I said, I'm always going to tell the story where you're down by 3 or 5 or whatever. Next thing, me and Paul are sitting right here. We're talking. We do one little segment. I look up. Y'all up by 18. It's just those adjustments, right? It's just those adjustments. So we're coming right back with our weekly sports wrap-up. DJ Krissy, let's do it. Building your brand is an important part of your business growth. By advertising with Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill, you'll gain the exposure and brand recognition behind our podcast. From season to season, we retain 92% of our advertisers. With category exclusivity, your business will benefit from our popularity online and during the podcast. Advertising with Turner and O'Neill equals exposure on Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, and more than 15 listening platforms total. Inquire today and let's partner to build your brand.
At Peace Players, we use the power of sport to unite, educate, and inspire young people to create a more peaceful world. We offer support programming, peace education, and leadership development to those living in communities in conflict. We challenge the hate that is driven by the fear of our differences. We bridge divides between people through the game of basketball, and we develop young leaders who help to change perceptions. Find out more at www.peaceplayers.org.
This segment of Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill is sponsored by
Insurance Alliance Group manages the gap between damage appraisal estimates from your insurance company and what you are rightfully owed based on your policy. They work on behalf of policyholders with claim assistance and disputes to maximize claims. Insurance Alliance Group serves as professional advisors and trusted advocates. The Insurance Alliance Group handles business and home property loss. Request a free claim review with the property loss professionals. Insurance Alliance Group. Visit us at insurancealliancegroup.com or call 866-574-4773.
portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill.
Welcome back to Take It CEO with Turner and O'Neill. This segment is brought to you by the Insurance Alliance Group, LLC. Gentlemen, let's talk some sports. I've got an order of things I'd like to talk about here, but did Caleb and them have to drop 76 the other night? It was 76-0.
Third string got in quarterback.
Yeah. Well, he got some numbers. He got some numbers and the third string.
I think Oklahoma is so bitter and bummed that people just get on the Big 12 defenses, especially theirs, because they win games like 52-45.
Right.
I mean, they had to do it the week before. I mean, Tulane, who's not the most top program, had him 14. I mean, they put up 30 something on him. I think
76. Coach.
I think there was a little bit. It happens more than you think that teams do that.
Yeah, but we're not seeing that on the top 25 scoreboard.
Right.
Good Lord.
But look, these are good minutes for Caleb. These is good experience. I've heard some rumblings that folks down in good old Norman, Oklahoma are like thinking he should get a little bit more time. Even though we're 2 games in. Spencer Rattler's obviously a Heisman candidate and stuff. But Caleb, they've shown that they can do a few packages with Caleb coming in there. Right. With both of them maybe at the same time. Kind of throw a little wrinkle at whatever defense they're playing.
Yeah. What about Alabama and Georgia? They're just going to keep doing their thing, huh?
Well, I wouldn't put Georgia in the same sentence with Alabama just yet.
Okay.
And yes, they beat Clemson, and yes, they.
And you know college football.
I'm just saying, until the dogs, and if you follow Twitter and you follow all the haters on there, typical Georgia, they're getting high on their horse. Auburn sometimes comes up, Florida sometimes comes up. LSU has their year, but Alabama stays the same consistent Alabama they are. Georgia's got a hell of a defense. They've got something special there, but I don't think they're
Well,
Alabama
the thing
yet.
is, when you look at these rankings, and we're going to talk Florida,
Sorry, Bulldog family, but I'm just
Florida, Notre Dame, Penn State, Georgia. There's definitely Alabama, and then there's the next tier. They might be a high, they might be a high B level team, but they're just not the machine, right?
Sure. Could not agree more with that statement and just how good Alabama is and how deep. Right? How deep, and you guys talked about USA team. You guys were so deep. Your 6 through 12 could go in and run with anybody.
Right.
Alabama's
the third
second and third
linebackers
could run with anybody.
But what I do think you're seeing is they thus far have been able to convince kids to still stay.
Yeah.
But the transfer portal has allowed some other guys to get better quick, and it's allowing those teams to convince kids to say, "Hey, why sit and wait when you can come here and play?"
Well, I mean, and you got a team like Alabama. Take Alabama out of the mix, and teams like Notre Dame, Penn State, Georgia, Florida, maybe they might get some love.
I mean, Notre Dame had to score with a minute to go,
right,
to take a lead. Was it Toledo? Who were they playing on Saturday?
I was watching Florida.
It was somebody not that strong.
Right.
And Florida's got the 2 quarterback thing going on too.
But you see what the Notre Dame quarterback had to do? He had to. Right before the winning touchdown, with 1:20 left, his finger had popped out on like a sack on a, and so he goes over to the sideline, like on his throwing hand. Trainer pops it back in. He goes in, throws a winning touchdown.
Oh man, I was seeing that in the
Toledo.
NBA.
It was just Toledo.
It was
Toledo.
Okay,
I was right.
it
was Toledo. Penn State. Look, I know.
Yeah.
I was looking at the video of it. Look, hey, Gator Nation could be.
They got a 2 quarterback thing going on too, but we struggle in our areas as well. Ohio State.
I don't. Go ahead.
I don't think they're in trouble, but I don't think they're in that top 5 right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're going to do the BCS the hard way. Apparently, they're going to take that loss early, I guess.
They're going to. Clemson went through the same thing. Ohio State's got to win out. Hey, Michigan's got something going on.
They've got an opportunity
Penn State's
to grow,
got
I think, over the
on.
next 3 weeks.
Yeah,
and then after that, they play Penn State.
No, they're not in trouble. And good for Oregon. Good for the Pac-12 actually getting a big win on the road early in the season.
Well, I think what's been fun about watching college football is all these like ranking matchups early.
Right.
Like it sets the tone.
Is Florida State, did they win last week? Did they play last week?
No, they got scored on the last play.
Yes, I did see that.
Lost.
I did see that.
They go from looking like a team that's back,
right,
and end up giving up one on the literally last.
How about
maybe showing that Notre Dame isn't? They got to go to like the depths with Toledo, then Florida State kind of hangs around.
But I think Florida State still is in the pickle with the quarterback position.
Sure,
yeah,
I think they have pieces to be really good. I don't think they're ready to battle Bama and those guys yet, but I think they're moving in the right direction to have Florida State back in the talks.
So speaking Pac-12, what happened at USC?
Ooh.
I mean, they're not playing. They fired Clay Helton.
How many coaches?
That's 3 coaches in a row that have been fired before the season's over.
It's ridiculous.
What's going on out there?
Maybe it's not just the coaching. Maybe they need to start looking at ADs and
program wide,
all the way because they should not be they should not be a program that's firing coaches after 2 or 3 games and then going with interim tags. Nah, that program has too much storied history to be doing that.
Whip Snakes Chaos.
Let's
PLL.
go.
Talk to me. Who's going to win that? I'm going Whip Snakes. They already beat the teams that I like to see. They're 2 in a row. I'm going to pick the easy pick, and they're weathered.
They've
been there, done that.
They have experience. They're well coached. They've got Matt Rambo, arguably the best attackman in the game today,
and maybe not the most guest, right?
That would love to get Matt Rambo in here. That guy, talk about
bad boy,
Philly through and through. It's not like he looks like he's the most I mean, he reminds me of like Charles Barkley just out hustling Bamas and just boxing them out, scoring when he wants to score.
Borda.
You gave a shout out to Matt Borda.
That's my dog.
Anyway,
why do I know that?
I'm with you. Hey,
played for KC, scored one of the most unbelievable goals in
Sports
Gonzaga
Center.
history.
Sports Center. We were Sports Center top 10.
All right,
I was there.
Shout out to Solomon for taking that video.
Yeah.
Hopefully, listen to us. I think Whip Snakes too, but the Chaos have some type of next level nastiness to them. This team, their leader, is a wild child. I'd love to get if they win. I would love to have him on the podcast next Monday. I don't know how we pull it off.
Give me a name.
Andy Towers.
Oh, okay.
I'm calling. I don't know who's winning,
Hey, local boys on
I'm
the chaos.
calling
They're like
for
local
a
dudes.
game that there's a late goal to win it.
Well, the Whipsnakes have had to win.
It's going to be a hell
one of them
game.
in overtime.
I think it's going to be a hell of a game.
It's going to be a great game, and it's going to be Audi Field, and I think it's close. I think it's going to be sold out. I think you're about 20,000 fans in there. It's going to be cool.
Let's turn our attention. Packers looked terrible. They couldn't even score a touchdown. 38-3 to a Saints team that doesn't even know what they're doing at quarterback.
Cut the man bun, and
why does he
fine.
not know what he's doing at quarterback?
No, I said they don't know in general. There are questions around the quarterback thing about, I can't say his name. That's gone.
Aaron Rodgers.
No, Drew Brees.
Oh.
Drew Brees is gone, so the next guy has to
Dude,
step up.
Jameis Winston throwing like
Jameis Winston.
darts.
Who can see now?
Chris
Who
Hogan was
went-
caught one of those
who-
touchdowns.
You,
PLL.
do you remember what happened with the last guy that we might be able to talk about who went and did what Jameis Winston did?
No. Who?
Remember Rodgers, our D-back, who used to get burnt and toasted?
Carlos
Rogers?
Remember, he left us
Mhm.
and then I think played for 2 more teams
Okay.
where he played all pro status.
He caught picks. He actually caught him.
He got the LASIK.
See,
So that's what it is.
so
LASIK, baby.
Trent Williams was on to something with the terrible medical staff. They couldn't even diagnose Carlos Rogers with some eye issues, man.
The LASIK.
Okay. All right. Well, all I'm
I'm going
saying
to say they're not. I'm going to say they're not in trouble, and here's the reason why. I've seen this story before with the Packers,
They got a bad boy quarterback.
and they got throttled by the Saints.
What, was he a bad boy yesterday?
Yeah, he was. It was the man bun. I just said it.
Okay.
Maybe
Ty Lue's got the seat, and
Maybe
you got to cut the man bun.
maybe he is setting them up for saying, "Hey, y'all,
Aaron
y'all wanna
Rodgers,
mess
he'll
with me.
be
I'm gonna
fine.
mess with y'all for a
They'll
little
be
while."
fine.
Okay.
And then
I'd like to
I'll
see
get us
that.
going because I'm not going to go out like a sucker. He ain't going out
This
like
could
a
be
sucker.
good. This could be good for them. This
All
could
right,
be
we'll
good for
see.
them.
Skins. They got to be on the plan B now because Mr. Fitzmagic is out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Groundhog Day for us. I mean,
Bring
Oh,
back,
love
man.
bring back who?
Gus Farrat? What?
Did you say Gus Farrat?
No,
It sounded like you were going to say
didn't
Gus.
know. I was going to say
RG3?
no. I'm going with a Hopetown guy,
What?
Kevin Hogan.
Oh,
You know,
Hogan. I thought you were about to go Dwayne Haskins.
No, Kevin
No.
Hogan, baby.
you know what I want? Why not? Our guy's not there. Killer Cam. He ain't got a job.
I think he would be
discussed
good.
this.
I do believe Cam would be good with this team.
Right. I mean, his coach is there. He
Hey.
knows the scheme.
Look, everything would have been a lot sweeter on a Victory Monday, which is not Victory Monday, if young Antonio Gibson,
Well,
who I
look-
think is going to be a great back. I was watching him carry the ball and breaking outside. Of course, I'm like the couch seat, quarterback or coach. That dude holds the ball out here. That fumble was such a dagger to what they were doing. And
I mean,
there's
we
a slight
just
adjustment.
made a great defensive play to stop him, interception. Then we fumble inside the 10, but we can also go to a missed field goal and
throw the ball to number 17. They didn't do it until the
and
second
go
half.
for it on 4th down.
Yes. And Riverboat Ron, someone said, man, is that boat stuck in the marina? Like, let's pull it out.
Let's go.
So
Let's
the
do
season
some things,
started.
huh?
And then the biggest thing that they talked about at the stadium was the water flushing down.
Thursday night's must win. Thursday night is a must win.
All right. I mean, dude,
yes,
it's week
and
2 out of
here's why.
17.
Your first 2 home games, first 2 games of the season at home, you go 0-2, that's a problem. That's a
It's not
problem.
a must win if they peel off 15 in a row after that.
Correct. But they need to show that
We got to
they're
worry about this week.
freaking Giants, man. Let's go.
All right. Talk to me about this AL East wildcard race. 'Cause I
Oh,
looked at the standings. Toronto's up in there. Boston's up in there. Yankees up in there.
They're not doing themselves much favors. the Yankees.
Orioles are not up in because my Mets took care of them this weekend. Thank you very much.
They were eliminated in June.
And that's put the voodoo on them this weekend.
Yeah, we won 2 out of 3 and one. We beat them like 10-2 or 13-2. One of those
Well,
games.
six behind them, one of them too.
Are we really talking about
Yep.
the 500 Mets? Come on.
We're 500. You only know that because you're looking at your phone at the standings right now.
I am.
72 and 72. I have it right here.
Tampa is running away. New York is not doing themselves a favor, man. They're 2-8 in their last 10.
Yeah, they are. After winning 13 in a row, maybe.
Thank you, MLB app. Just a shout out right here.
Shout out. Can we get some sponsorship? MLB app. Look, let's go to our final break and we will be back with the final word. Connect with us socially on Instagram and Facebook at Turner O'Neill Podcast, on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, on YouTube, just search Turner and O'Neill, then subscribe. And of course, you can visit our website at www.turnerandoneill.com.
Become a friend of the program. Friendship contributions start at just $25. Each contribution helps to fuel Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. To find out more or make your contribution, go to www.turnerando'neill.com and click Become a Friend.
The final word is brought to you by Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. Call 301-761-2278 or visit raypcruz.com. Ray P. Cruz, mortgages intelligently.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It to You with Turner and O'Neill.
Connect with us socially on Instagram and Facebook at Turner O'Neill Podcast, on Twitter at Turner1 Podcast, on YouTube, just search Turner and O'Neill, then subscribe. And of course, you can visit our website at www.turnerando'neill.com.
Become a friend of the program. Friendship contributions start at just $25. Each contribution helps to fuel Take It to You with Turner and O'Neill. To find out more or make your contribution, go to www.turnerando'neill.com and click Become a Friend.
The final word is brought to you by Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. Call 301-761-2278 or visit raypcruz.com. Ray P. Cruz, mortgages intelligently.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It to You with Turner and O'Neill.
We are back, and it's time to wrap this baby up with some thanks and, of course, our final word. We invite you to become a friend of the program. Please go to www.turnerando'neill.com and click Become a Friend. We'd like to thank our seasoned friends, Thomas Alford, Melissa Alshev, Margie Billings, Adam Cross, Chelsea Cross, Paula Cross, Lynn Johnson, Eric O'Neill, Justin O'Neill, Sean Parker, Kathleen Talbot, Andrea Tarones, and Timothy Whittier. I feel like I left out a name. Help me out. Richard.
Noah
Richard, sorry.
Amy, Ellie.
Yes.
The crew.
The crew.
Damn.
Become a partner, friend, sponsor, donor. Visit www.turnerando'neill.com and click Media Kit. Advertising with Turner and O'Neill will put your brand in front of our thousands of listeners and viewers each week. You know how to find us on social. If you don't, we haven't done our job. This is like episode 50-something. Just type in Turner O'Neill Podcast and everything you want to see will come up. All right. Before we sign off, thanks to our viewers and listeners. This podcast is fueled by you, and we appreciate your support. Sir, you are the T. Sir, you are the O. Young lady, you make us look good. So thank you to all of you. I enjoy being a part of this. It's that camaraderie. We've been doing this for over a year now.
It's crazy.
We've been doing this for over a year, and all four of us are back in the studio. And you're still the young buckaroo over there. Don't you forget it.
And I always will be. Remember that.
Own that. All right, DJ Krissy, your final thoughts. I'm gonna let you go first again. You start the show, you close out the show.
All right.
I'll be in first.
I like
Talk
this.
to us.
Great guest today. It was a lot of fun. The last couple of guests we've had on, just gold medal.
Well, everything's great when your hair is fire, right?
Right?
Let's go.
Well, she's doing the damn thing, right?
My head feels so much lighter.
You chopped off like half your hair, girl.
More.
All right, so there you
What
go.
was the inspiration?
Took off a lot.
Just ready for a
just wanna
change.
Do something different.
Cool.
It's been a while.
She's stepping in the fall.
COVID. I haven't really done anything to my hair in 2 years.
So she's stepping in the fall with a new look. We love it.
We love it.
Coach Turner, play the song. Coach, what you got for us?
Oh man, we're back. That's all I got. We're back. Here it is.
Buckaroos.
The Buckaroos are back,
Thanks for bringing Coach White on, huh?
and you guys are welcome. He was awesome. I'm glad he was able to step up.
What we gonna do next
Step
week?
on.
We gotta come with a good one for next
I'm
week.
chasing one right now, man. I'm
Chase.
not even going to talk about it because
No.
I'm chasing one hard.
Are you chasing like 99, like Chase Young?
At that level. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
At that level.
Well, that D line needed to do a little
Right
bit.
now,
That D line needed to
I
do a
would
little
say
bit more.
I need Chase to get some dubs because I can't go asking them to come on while they're not winning.
All right.
I need him
So we gotta get some dubs. Get them on a dub Monday.
But I am chasing. I'm chasing a good one. I think.
All right, cool.
I'm
Well,
fingers crossed to pull it off soon.
let's see what we can do about that. Look, appreciate the guests. Appreciate having Coach White. I'm a basketball junkie, and anything USA basketball, men's or women's, I love to be a part of.
This for me is it's the time of year. Pro football, college football, baseball, right around the corner is college basketball. Like I'm in heaven right now.
And your guys are in the gym.
My
college coaches
guys are in the gym. Matter of fact, speaking of
they're
guys
in the weight room.
Coach Jones made the appearance on last week. He and Coach Young today and came and check out our guys in the weight room today, which is pretty cool.
All right.
So
shout out to Mike Jones.
Yes, sir.
And in about 10 days, training camp for the NBA starts. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm going to give another shout out to a Jones. He's one of our most loyal listeners
and
followers. Is
J.
Mr. J. Jones.
J. Jones.
He will send us stuff on the email. He will check in. He likes all of our stuff. Ran into him at his 10-year reunion. It was my 25-year reunion this weekend. Got a nice selfie with Mr. J. Jones. So shout out to you. Incredible to see.
We got to give a shout out. There's someone on Twitter who you guys know who retweets like all of our episodes.
It's got to be Jeff Canella.
Please give him a shout out.
That's Jeff Canella.
That's a nice guy.
We love you, Jeff.
Jeff, man, we appreciate you.
He's a really good man. And his wife, Lulu, they're the best.
Good folks.
They are the best.
All right, good. He's always retweeting our stuff. So we appreciate that love because the exposure is awesome.
Mr. Daryl.
Book night?
He
also retweets and
those three right there.
Gives love.
Yeah. So thanks. Look, we don't do this without you guys being out there helping us retweet stuff.
Yep.
We get to 2,000, 3,000 viewers or whatever, and that is awesome. We appreciate y'all doing that for us. My final thought, glad to have you guys here. The weather's changing. It's fire pit season. We're going to go back out there and eat, right? We did that last year, right? And I guess before too long, we're going to do a Thanksgiving episode with the ladies, right?
Yes, that's right.
It's about that time to do that, right?
We got to figure that one out.
Well, it's Krissy. Krissy and the ladies wrote that last year, remember?
So it'll work because we play on the weekend, but we were actually playing Thanksgiving weekend this year.
Oh, we'll record something. We'll figure it out.
That Friday and Saturday.
Another shout out to one of our guests a few weeks ago. You're going to love this. I should have sent you the picture. But Olympian Phoebe Bacon, who had come over and brought. You saw a picture of me with the girls, right? You saw that? She was rocking the Purple Eagle. I gave her like a hoodie that I had. She's like, I love a basketball hoodie, and I had a purple one.
How about
She's
that?
rocking it up there in Madison, man, at the Wisconsin game.
All right, it's going to be cold up there before too long. Coach O'Neal, the floor. Well, the floor's been yours because you won't stop talking.
Yeah, my questions are long.
So go for it. The floor and quote are yours.
Well, you'll be happy to know this quote is quick.
Oh, Lord. Not quick enough because you still ain't said it yet.
Yeah, man. We'll just.
All right, little brother.
First one to blink. Go.
I'll come across this table.
This quote.
I will flip this table over.
This quote, folks, is fitting for
these antics.
For my relationship with Kurtis. And here goes.
Love you too.
The first to apologize is the bravest. The first to forgive is the strongest. And the first to forget is the happiest. Boom.
Krissy, pull the plug.
Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill would like to thank our advertisers, our premier partner, Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage, our partners, Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller, Insurance Alliance Group LLC, Marquise Evans of Keller Williams Capital Properties, our sponsors, O'Neill Development LLC, Next Level Lacrosse, A Squared Home and Office Solutions, Collins Funeral Home, and Peace Players International. And our donors, Winsight Media and Gene the Barber, now Max Life Barber and Salon. Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill is produced by Curtis Cross and engineered by DJ Krissy. All material is the exclusive property of the podcast and may not be copied, rebroadcast, or used in any way without the written consent of the podcast. The views, ideas, and commentary of podcast guests are solely their own and not necessarily endorsed by the podcast. You may submit questions, podcast ideas, and commentary to turneronealpodcast@gmail.com. No compensation is offered for submitted material. Should we choose to use your idea, comment, or question, you agree to your likeness, social media identity, and/or information being used on the podcast. Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill is recorded weekly and distributed via Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and more than 15 podcast platforms in total. You can also view Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill weekly on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest episode drops. Some portions of the podcast may be pre-recorded. Join us socially on Facebook and Instagram at Turner O'Neill Podcast, on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, and on YouTube. Search Turner and O'Neill and subscribe. Our website is www.turnerando'neill.com. Advertising opportunities are available.